Okay, we started this in August. It is now the end of December, which means we are a couple of weeks away from our first award ceremony of the year. Because that fact, obviously this will be the final Oscar prediction video of 2013, and in essence, the final Oscar prediction video, period. Because the next time you get a prediction video from us, we're going to be talking about the actual nominees and our actual predictions of everything that actually got nominated. I was just wanting to see how many times I could say actual or in versions.
Does that one count?
Yes. Take a drink. So, here we are. We now have 10 categories because I have added both documentary and best animated feature. Why? Because they need to be spoken about. Now, there's foreign language film as well, but, yeah, we didn't have time. So,
Well, that category is just so off the wall and predictable, it's impossible.
exactly. So,
you could have like 3 front runners and 4, and then like none of them will make it.
and you know this very well, given the fact that you've watched a lot of foreign movies that did not make even the short list this year.
I've seen 4 of the 9 that made it.
Just gotta hope those are the 4 that get nominated.
But I've seen 9 of the 15 on the documentary list, so that's good.
Very nice. And eventually I will get to see some of those too, hopefully. So, just like always, we're going to go back and forth, and we're going to go, I'll start with AJ, and we're going to go to myself, and then back and forth, until we get all 10 categories, which of course are the big 8 plus documentary and animated feature. So, before we get started, AJ
Before
usually...
we get started, I'm making a change, because I just remembered something else that's on the documentary list.
Okay.
I got it.
AJ, actually, while you're writing here, I will say right now that you usually throw out a little bit of tidbits of information that have happened since our last video that apparently a lot of you guys watched. Thank you, by the way. We've got over 150 hits on that video, and that's really cool. So, you guys seem to care what we think about the Academy Awards predictions. Probably more him than me, but still, we appreciate it either way. So, anything...
Don't give me too much credit, then they'll call me out.
You never know. I'll say right now that usually we throw out a little bit of information that has happened since our last video. AJ, do you have any Oscar-related news to talk about?
Nothing that doesn't involve the nominations that have come out, so but I'm sure those will gradually get brought up throughout this. So,
and we've got prediction videos, not nomination videos, like actual prediction videos, coming up in the next couple weeks for like the Golden Globes and the SAGs and the Critics' Choice Awards. And the Spirit Awards. So we'll be doing those the next couple of weeks. So you'll have videos either, I don't know if they'll be all together or they're going to be just one at a time. Probably one at a time to make not 4-hour videos. So, because you know, we talk a lot. As a matter of fact, if you look at the Friday video, it's almost 2 hours long. So
that's because there's so many goddamn movies on it.
There's 6 movies on it. So, yeah, and I'll make sure I post a link on Twitter that the and more is Dallas Buyers Club and Philomena. So hopefully Grudge Match will fit in there. I don't know. We'll see once I put it up there. So, we're going to start with Best Documentary Feature. And there are, how you said, there's 15 potential shortlists right now. And I can honestly say, of the ones I have listed, I've seen 2 of them.
The ones I have listed, I have seen all of them. I don't know if I'm that lucky, though.
Well, we'll find out. So, AJ, your nominees for the final... Best Documentary Feature of 2013.
The Act of Killing, which is really picking up the Critics Award. It is. I'll go ahead and inform the people what these documentaries are about. Because I'm sure they might not know.
Please do.
The Act of Killing is about a former executioner who loves basically the movie industry. So to basically deal with his guilt in his past, he creates a movie that basically tells the story of his executions in a movie-like way.
Is it like Henry? That's what it kind of sounds like.
No. Not really.
The concept is what I'm talking about.
It's you just have to see it.
No, I will eventually, hopefully.
Cutie and the Boxer, which is a married couple, an old married couple who are both artists. One is a guy that basically wears boxing gloves covered in paint and basically punches the shit out of a wall and makes an art piece out of it. And she basically writes basically draws kind of like not necessarily a comic book, but basically a story about two characters that are basically them, and it's their story.
It's interesting.
Stories We Tell, which is Sarah Polley's documentary about her family and her mainly her mom. But she used, there was actually an eligibility question a while there about it being a documentary because she hired actors to basically play her family when they were younger.
Okay.
Like when you see it as like home movie footage, but it's actually actors playing her family. 23 from Stardom, which we did in a review video, but it's basically the story of backup singers who didn't get much credit. Darling Love is the main focus of it.
Correct.
And Which Way is the Front Line from Here, which is the guy that made Restrepo that died shortly after the Oscar ceremony. It's a documentary about him. So
that's your 5. Unfortunately, I can't really give much information on my choices like he can, so I'm just going to throw out my predictions, which are pretty much the same until we get to 2 of them. So basically there are 3 that are the same and then 2 that are different. I am going to go with Blackfish because it's got so much buzz right now, whether it's good or bad. It's actually, and this is for you Mythos Troll, it is killing SeaWorld's credibility day in, day out. But there's a lot of people that are back on it saying that it may not all be completely factual. So there's a lot of backlash from both sides right now.
The controversy is why I didn't put it in, actually.
I think the controversy may be one that gets it nominated, to be honest.
It could go either way, yeah.
And I really enjoy Blackfish a lot, and I guess some people, and I know who you are, can call me a SeaWorld apologist, but like I said, I just enjoy going to the parks. I understand all the issues. I mean, just like, I think Ralph actually said this to me the other day when we were talking about Blackfish. It was like, he brought up Free Willy. If you want to go back to talking about a movie that should have created a lot more than it did with SeaWorld, it would have been Free Willy. And this is 10 times worse. The heat on SeaWorld right now because of Blackfish is just to the point now there are people that will never go back there. And it's probably going to lose a lot of revenue this year because of it. All because of this documentary that aired once on CNN.
Yeah.
Once on CNN, and that's it. So the other one, and you could call this personal bias, but I'm also seeing this on a lot of lists as well, and that's Tim's Vermeer. And that's Teller's movie about Johannes Vermeer, who is a painter. And he is the director of the film. Obviously, I'm a huge Penn and Teller fan. And it's done really well so far. I mean, people really dig it from what I've heard. Penn and Teller fans and non-Penn and Teller fans, the people I've read reviews from, they do like it. Unfortunately, I've not been able to see it, and it's nowhere to be found right now. So it's going to be a long time before we get to see it.
I did have it in, but then I decided, I took it out for Which Way is the Front Line from Here.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, that proves that once again that these are documentaries. Usually the documentary category, there are a lot of, I guess you would say, duds that get thrown in for whatever political reason. And there's not...
Because they're important.
Exactly. There's not always one that's very entertaining. This year, on the other hand, at least the way AJ is putting over everything, and usually we have about the same opinion when it comes to certain things. You guys should know that by now. When it comes down to it, these are a lot more entertaining documentaries than the last several years. Usually there's one that's really entertaining and the rest are kind of like, whatever, and those ones usually win. But still, it's a lot of really entertaining stuff from what you're telling me about it, so it'd be interesting to see what wins Best Documentary Feature this time, because there's a lot of different X factors when it comes to this category this year. So, we're going to go into Animated Feature. There's been many years. This has been 5. This has been 3. I mean, I could be going to get status quo and say there's going to be 4 this year, but no, I can't.
I guess we're just going to go with 5.
We'll go with 5. I was going to put in, I don't know if it's Celestine or Celestine. I haven't heard it.
Celestine, but I don't really know.
It's been pronounced. I've heard it both ways, so I was going to throw that in there because don't forget we had the years with Chico and Rita and
Cat in Paris.
And Cat in Paris. Exactly. We had that year, and almost nothing like totally mainstream got in.
That was when Tintin and Arthur Christmas both got snubbed.
Yeah, that was a big deal right there too. This year, I think they're going to be a little bit more safe when it comes to the nominees. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that I think the nominees for Best Animated Feature will be The Wind Rises, which is Miyazaki's final film.
Apparently this isn't his first retirement, but they think he might be serious this time.
Was he the Terry Funk of movies? All right. Yeah, I thought you could get a kick out of that. So, obviously, the other challengers would be Frozen. And I'm not a big fan of this movie because it was kind of a letdown. I think both of these two movies were kind of a letdown overall. They weren't bad movies, but I wouldn't put them on my favorites of the year list. I probably would put Epic completely away from anything involving this list. It probably shouldn't even be mentioned. I mentioned it accidentally, basically.
Did you put Epic?
No, God, no. I'm not stupid. Actually, I would put Turbo on this list before I would put two of these other ones. And that would be the sequel to Despicable Me and Monsters University, which I'm not big on either one of them. They're okay movies, but they're not great, and they're definitely not as great as what their originators were. The final movie on this list is a movie that AJ and I both severely dug, and it's probably the best animated movie of the year, and that's The Croods. So,
it and Turbo are pretty much on the same level as far as what the better animated movie is.
And it's a shame that something like Turbo was so overlooked. I mean, actually, they're starting a new show on Netflix now that they're doing. It's a Turbo weekly series, kind of like they're doing this weekly series on Netflix now. Isn't that how Arrested Development is?
Something like that.
So yeah, they're doing one with Turbo. So
when we say Turbo and The Croods are the best animators of the year, we should probably mention that we haven't seen The Wind Rises.
No, we haven't. And I love Frozen. I do, but it's not. It wouldn't be my pick for best animated film of the year. I will say right now that it's probably between The Wind Rises and Frozen, legitimately, of who's going to win animated feature at the Oscars, though, for sure. AJ, you want to throw out your 2 cents?
Yeah, I think Despicable Me will get in by default.
Yeah.
I do have in Ernest and Celestine.
I thought about it.
Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, by default, Monsters University. And The Wind Rises. I think if there's 3, Monsters University and Despicable Me won't make it. And it'll be the 2. It'll be Frozen, The Wind Rises, and Ernest and Celestine.
I would like to see Frozen, The Wind Rises, and The Croods.
But I think The Croods did well with the Annies. Not that means anything.
No, the Annies hate Disney. Completely.
So that might have something to do with it.
Yeah. Oh. Now we're in the 8, and I don't know how much you've went over these lists over and over again trying to make these final predictions, but I've been racking my brain ever since I even put pen to paper, and now I have it printed off in front of me because I print things off because no one can read my writing, including myself. That's why the wrestling recaps are so disjointed sometimes, because it's really hard for me to read certain things, especially when I'm writing so fast. But we're going to start off with Best Adapted Screenplay, and this race this year is not as...
It's usually the other way around. It's adapted that's packed, and it's original.
Original is all over the place this year.
Has openings.
Adapted is pretty set in stone with a couple of minor exceptions. I think our lists are going to be kind of similar, but they're going to be different as well. My adapted screenplay lineup is Philomena, and it is The Wolf of Wall Street, Captain Phillips, Before Midnight, and 12 Years a Slave. The more you've told me about it, the more I realize that Before Midnight is probably not going to happen. I think that it's a really good shot that it's getting in. I wasn't really for sure it was going to get in, and if it misses, I think August is what takes it out. Honestly, and I think you might agree with me when you do your predictions. Wolf of Wall Street, I'm telling you right now, I think it's a little bit more of a contender than some people are giving it credit for, given all the backlash right now. But I think it may just be backlash with not everybody, just a very vocal small group that just happen to be Academy voters. So it could go either way. And I say Philomena, just like we're talking about on the review yesterday. When it comes down to it, Philomena is one of the best movies of the year, and I do want to see it get nominated for a bunch of things. Unfortunately, I could not run it for something bigger later on. We'll just put it that way. So And 12 Years a Slave is pretty much the movie to beat right now when it comes to adapted screenplays. So, AJ, you want to give me your predictions as well?
I have, as my chair continues to creak.
It's not the floor, it's the chairs, folks.
Okay. I have, in a new bit of pronunciation.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Apparently a lot of people actually agreed with me and they thought that's what it was.
Everybody did. It sounds better.
August Osage County. It's not Osage like massage, it's Osage like turn the page.
Which I think I corrected on an Impact recap last week for the first time.
Because when Aziz announced the Globe nominations, he said Osage and everybody laughed. Before midnight, Captain Phillips, Philomena, and 12 Years a Slave.
Yep.
I almost forgot to even say the rest. I was just going to stop at August. They're just going to give it to Tracy Letts. It's just going to be his own thing. No, obviously John Ridley is. They might as well just give it to him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it's looking more and more likely by the day that Philomena's probably second here.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So I'd say undoubtedly I'm going to get my wish of Academy Award nominee Steve Coogan.
That's how it should be. And you above anybody are really, really quick to dismiss the Wolf of Wall Street running for anything right now. It's one of those things, kind of like when he wants something to win, usually it doesn't do very well. So, but again, that's the same with me, but you've really jinxed a couple of movies.
That's why
That's why you apologize every video for it.
That's why I didn't predict Django for anything, and it walked away with two big ones. So
I did predict Django for those awards, and I was very happy with it. Yeah, your plan is continuing to work, so... once again, the complete polar opposite. We're going to talk Best Original Screenplay, and oh my god, there's probably like 55 movies that can get nominated for this. And that's most likely not an exaggeration whatsoever. AJ, you want to give your 5?
I have American Hustle, Fruitvale, Her, Inside Llewyn Davis, and Nebraska. I've been talking all year about that big, massive comeback Fruitvale's going to have. I think that big, massive comeback that Fruitvale's going to have is going to be though not an original screenplay, and I think that'll be enough. Because I know that's sacrilege to think that Woody Allen won't get nominated, because Woody Allen always gets fucking nominated in this category.
And nominated for Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
But I think that this will be the one. Fruitvale had. I know it's basically like.
It was the front runner when they first had the first screenings for it.
That's because it was in July and people were hungry for awards buzz. But,
oh, absolutely.
I think there are going to be those people that really want. That Fruitvale is just that one movie. If there's a small movie that's gonna make a comeback and not be like Beasts of the Southern Wild and do like big things,
yeah,
they at least get a screenplay nomination. Margin Call got a screenplay nomination, and I know it's a different scenario because there's like 20 things that could be in here.
Yeah,
if they really, 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 really do love Gravity that much, that could happen too.
That's the one thing. It's funny because everyone's talking Gravity, Gravity, Gravity. What's the one thing that most people are not talking Gravity for? Screenplay.
And there's that tends to be the case with the big budget movies like Cameron's movies.
Yeah.
But I suppose we should probably talk about the fact that Her is like now a big deal.
Yeah, Her's the reason my predictions changed a bit.
The last time we did a video, Her wasn't really anything. And now that the Critics Awards have come out, and the Globes. Explosion. I was standing at Toon Lagoon, like right outside of A Day in the Park with Barney, and you had called me to tell me about the fact that Her is now officially in the race. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Or it could be just one of those movies that the critics adore that doesn't carry over.
It's possible,
but the Academy, they gave Spike Jonze a nomination for beating John Malkovich, a Best Director nomination.
That's true.
And they loved adaptation, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that they will continue to love him.
No.
Even though Where the Wild Things Are got shut out.
Yeah. Well, my original screenplay lineup, it had to change because of her. Her is the reason why I had to switch some things out, and I guess it's just how it works. If her ends up, I can't say failing, but if her ends up not in here, obviously the movie that I would jump to personally would be Saving Mr. Banks. But right now, from what I've heard, it's very low on the list, but it's still on the list of potential contenders. Obviously, something like Gravity would be a lot higher than that, but I mean, I'm not even predicting Gravity for that. I'm actually not predicting Gravity for much this year, to be honest, and that may end up being something that costs me in the long run. But my list is a little similar, but there's a couple differences. Mine is American Hustle, mine is Nebraska, mine is Inside Llewyn Davis, mine is Her, and mine is Blue Jasmine. Why? Because, like you said, how can they not nominate Woody Allen and the Coen brothers? But the thing is, that may come in to bite me in the end, too. Because I'm putting a lot of hope on a really out there, wild prediction in supporting actress to help Blue Jasmine get something big.
It's not really that out there anymore.
Well, it would have been before you started telling me other things. I will say right now that there's a lot of things that could win this, honestly. It looks like it's going to be American Hustles all day long, but I think Nebraska's a serious contender, and Her is definitely, like, coming up.
Even the Coen brothers could take it again.
Yeah, Inside Llewyn Davis has got a shot at it. Like I said, if I had to throw anything out there, would I mind if Fruitvale got nominated? No, not at all. I really liked Fruitvale, actually. Fruitvale's really good. But I can't put it in my lineup because there's no room for it. I mean, these are the categories I wish there were 10 nominees for. I know it wouldn't be as prestigious, but still it would be a lot easier to make predictions. But that's the point. The fact that everyone in the world is going gaga for Gravity and it's nowhere to be found in most people's screenplay lineups, and that's a big category to have in your back pocket when you only have one lone acting nomination that you can run with. It makes it impossible to pretty much go anywhere, obviously, other than the fact that it's a guarantee Cuarón's getting in for director, so that'll propel it to picture. So it doesn't need the screenplay nomination to get the picture nomination, so it doesn't really matter. Blue Jasmine, on the other hand, when it comes down to it, needs the screenplay nomination, but still, I think, will miss picture. Even if it gets screenplay.
I don't even know why people brought that up. The Blue Jasmine wasn't getting in picture.
No, it's too big of a race this year, folks. It really is, honestly. And I've been putting over Nebraska since day one of what Payne's movie's going to do. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to win a lot. It's going to make a huge dent. Whether it wins anything, well, I know somebody that most likely will win, but I can see it doing a lot of awards. Maybe not winning a lot of awards, but it's going to get a lot of nominations for sure. For a movie that not everybody's seen yet.
It's black and white. It's going to get in for cinematography.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just on principle.
Which you're happy about that because that's probably the reason why Francis Ha would miss out. Hey, it would have a shot if this was another year. I know. Hey, I'm very happy Greta got a nomination too, so, I mean, it's not going to happen at the Oscars.
Don't even bring that up.
It made me happy, obviously.
Don't even bring that up.
So, yeah, that's my best original screenplay lineup. So, you want to speak about our acting categories? We're about to go into them. Best supporting actress, AJ? Good luck.
Mine are pretty safe and very simple. Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August, June Swift for Nebraska, and Oprah for The Butler.
Any commentary on that?
They are what they are.
You hate this category, so it's probably very easy for you to do this.
I haven't seen Roberts yet, but I like Lawrence and Lupita. I haven't seen June Squibb yet either.
We will very, very soon. Supposedly in the next couple weeks, we're getting Nebraska. Alright. As everyone knows...
There's some people still holding out for Octavia Spencer. Assuming Fruitvale gets that massive comeback.
Yeah. Again, no one knows anything until nominations are announced. So, I mean, everything is just hearsay until everything. You can use all the stats in the world, but it doesn't really matter because in the end, we could all be wrong. You never know.
Yeah. Trends and shit change every year.
Exactly.
They're all broken every year.
And don't let, like AJ said, and it's true, don't let what awesomeness happened last year think it's going to happen this year.
Yeah, everybody's all, oh no, McQueen and Cuarón are this year's Bigelow and Affleck. Okay, what were the... Okay.
Who would you put in their place right now?
Okay, if we absolutely must do it that way, if McQueen and Cuarón were to be the Bigelow and Affleck of this year, then who were they to the year before? I mean, that's clearly how we're doing this trend. I mean, since it happened last year, it's got to happen again this year.
Absolutely.
Is what that says.
Yeah, trends are meant to be broken, and especially when it comes to award season. There is really no rhyme or reason. We're just guesstimating here. Like everyone that's their critic is guesstimating what's going to do anything. There's no way of knowing what's the truth anymore. My supporting actress lineup is about the same, but I will say right now there is one glaring exception. First off, I almost did something the other day that probably would have been extremely stupid, but I've been thinking about it, and I almost did it, but I didn't. It's kind of like how you wanted, like you were trying to debate with yourself to take Fassbender out of the running.
Yeah.
I almost took Oprah out. Because I was thinking about it, and I realized that Weinstein holds the cards, obviously, to the butler, but Weinstein also holds the cards to August. Mm-hmm. So, what's to say that he doesn't shift his focus to August instead, and that's how Julia Roberts gets in, by taking Oprah out? I was thinking about doing that, but I thought it was a little too crazy. And I already made one crazy move that's on this page you guys know all about, so I just think that we'll talk about that in a minute, actually. But my lineup is the same, basically. Oprah for The Butler and Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Jane Squibb for Nebraska, and yes, as they would call it on the Oscar buzzboard, my No Guts, No Glory, Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine. Which is not as unbelievable as it once was. Apparently, she is starting to get some steam.
Got into the Globes.
She will most likely get in the BAFTAs, and that's probably going to be enough. I would hope so.
But the interesting thing is looking at who's going to be taken out here. Any of these 5 on mine could win.
Yeah.
They're even talking about the possible, even though it sounds absurd.
A tie?
No. Even Lawrence could win 2 years in a row.
Hey, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with anybody winning on this list, and I'm sure June Squibb is great in Nebraska because, like I said, I really want to see the movie, but every single performance you talked about, obviously we don't talk about Roberts because we haven't seen August yet, but Lupita is great, and Jennifer Lawrence is great, and it's just, and you know, say what you want about Oprah, I mean, her performance isn't the greatest, but she's Oprah Winfrey, she doesn't have to be great. So
the only scene I remember are her last scene and the scene where she's putting lipstick on in the mirror saying "Jackie Kennedy."
This is not the color purple. This is not the color purple, folks. That's what I was trying to say. This is not the color purple whatsoever. Her performance is basically just like background fodder, and she's pretty much getting in because she's Oprah Winfrey.
And she gets hit on by Terrence Howard.
And it's quite alarming, to say the least.
And keep your women away from Terrence Howard.
Probably a good idea, actually.
Sorry.
So we're going to your legitimate favorite category next. Best Supporting Actor. Well, I'm staying with it. I don't care. When it comes down to it, somebody that you've been championing for a long time actually got in at the Globes and is starting to show up on real lists, not just not Critics Awards anywhere. And it's Daniel Bruhl for Rush. Which, congratulations.
Fuck the Globes, he got in the SAG.
He got in, yeah, exactly. He got for the SAG. Don't forget, this was all happened while I was home, so I didn't get a chance to read any of this. I just knew from, like, hearsay. Just, like, reading things on the internet. That was a big thing.
Seeing Daniel Bruhl on the SAG list was a good fucking day.
It totally was. You didn't get Gyllenhaal in there, but you got Daniel Bruhl, so that's good enough.
I don't care that I didn't predict him all the way. I gave up on him the last video.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he's in there when he totally should be is such a...
Oh, he belongs in here completely, but I don't... Unless... Okay, what is his nationality? Where's he from exactly? I'm just seeing if he has a BAFTA chance.
I don't want to immediately jump on Bastards and say he was German.
That's what I was thinking. With the name, it kind of sounds like he might be German.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know. That kind of thing is totally lost on me.
But would he have? If he got in at the BAFTAs, I think it would be enough to completely propel him to an Oscar nomination. But I don't know.
But the thing, what really blows about this is you have, and I don't know what it is, just for some reason it seems logical.
Okay.
There's really no proof to back it up. It's just a horrible thought that seems plausible. When you look at like Helen Mirren and/or Marion Cotillard last year, or Tilda Swinton in 2011, there always seems to be that one performance that gets in everywhere with Critics' Choice and SAG and Globe and BAFTA, but somehow still misses. There seems to be a consensus that Daniel Bruhl would be that performance this year because I'd say he's got a pretty good shot at BAFTA too.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, because apparently they like love Rush.
Yeah.
So
maybe it'll start getting its tech nominations back that everyone thought was going to go to No Line Survivor.
But
We'll see.
I'm worried. Even if he gets in BAFTA and has all 4 of those, I'm still worried for him.
I can understand that. So, obviously, there's pretty much 2 names that are solidified. One is pretty much solidified, and the rest is pretty much just up in the air at this point. Is that basically the consensus? That's what it looks like, at least.
Possibly.
So, I have Bradley Cooper for American Hustle. I have Jared Leto for the Dallas Buyers Club. I have Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave. I have Barkhad Abdi for Captain Phillips. And yes, I'm still holding on to it, and I'm not giving up. Tom Hanks for Saving Mr. Banks. I think he's getting into the BAFTA, and I think that's going to get him in the Oscars. And that's the only chance he has. I'm aware of that. And if he doesn't get into the BAFTA, it's over. But
Missing Globe.
I don't know how Saving Mr. Banks didn't do anything at the Globes, to be totally honest.
What Thompson got him?
The movie itself.
Because it ran a drama, probably.
Yeah. This drama year is just so heavy. In more ways than one.
Okay.
But like you said, I mean, talking about Fassbender and everything, and he's probably going to get in now. It's not a bad thing at all.
Who are we talking about?
Michael Fassbender.
Well, yeah, that's not a question now.
No, not at all.
I have Barkhad Abdi. I'm letting my wishful thinking do the work for me. I'm still going to say Daniel Bruhl.
Good job.
I'm going to let my heart go with that.
That's where my Hanks one comes in.
Fassbender, Gandolfini, for enough said, and Jared Leto. Here's the thing. Okay. I fought for a very long time. By very long time, I mean like maybe 5 minutes.
That's a long time for you.
Whether to put in Bradley Cooper or James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
Because there was that bullshit the Globe said. Now, I'm not calling out the Globe specifically. Apparently, this was just one person.
Mm-hmm.
Gandolfini got in at SAG.
Correct.
And the very next day, he missed BAFTA in place of Bradley Cooper. And there was apparently one Globe member that was interviewed about it. I don't know who this person was or what, but when they asked, this makes me think his Globe snub isn't going to really a sign of anything.
Maybe.
Apparently a member of the Hollywood Foreign Press was asked why James Gandolfini wasn't nominated for the Golden Globe for Enough Said, and his response was, well, he's not going to be here to accept it.
That man is now looking for new employment, I have to guess.
So, I wouldn't take the Globe snub to heart too much.
No.
But, one thing, that's just one guy. But then again, there's not that many people in Hollywood Foreign Press. I heard there's like maybe 60 or 90 or something.
Wow.
But, yeah, that makes the Globes look really small, doesn't it?
It really does.
Like I said, I'm letting my wishful thinking take Daniel Bruhl. Really, what Gandolfini comes down to is, I hate to say it, because, like, I defend Ledger and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it is actually, not many people realize this, like, for some reason, a lot of people love to say, oh, we just get him because he's dead, and, oh, he'll get sympathy votes. People getting posthumous nominations is not a common thing.
No, it really isn't.
So, I don't know why people still say that. I think it's just like, they just think they have to say it or something. It's like programmed in their minds. If somebody is going to get an audition because they're dead, your cynical mind automatically makes you say, oh, it must be because they're dead. But I think people loved Gandolfini enough, and honestly, yeah, I do think it's sympathy that will end up prevailing. But then again, you know, American Hustle's a David O. Russell movie, and we know how he does with acting nominations. So it's a really, really tough call between Gandolfini and Cooper, and wouldn't it be hilarious if it was neither one of them? It was some fucking, not Hanks, but some,
never know.
Some random fuck or something.
Yeah, this also could be where Will Forte comes back.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he got a surprising nom as well.
He got in at the Spirit Awards and he won National Board Review.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
He didn't get like SAG or anything. No.
But winning National Board Review is a pretty big deal.
Sometimes. Yeah, I think Gandolfini will just prevail over Cooper. At least as of now.
The reason I'm going with Cooper is because of the fact that I think American Hustle is a lot more of a strong movie when it comes to all the categories I'm reading here. Everything I have on here, I've got American Hustle running for everything. So, I mean, that may be a mistake on my part. And I did say a long time ago that American Hustle was winning picture. But who knows what's going to happen at this point. I think Bradley Cooper would probably get in because of that.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you how the Oscar ceremony is going to end right now. Everybody's going to say, oh my god, it's going to be a split, it's going to be a split, it's going to be Quaron. Quaron's going to win director for Gravity, and then 12 Years Later is going to take a picture. That's totally what's going to happen. That's definitely what's going to happen.
I don't think either one of them happened.
But they were going to... Shut up. But then they were going to... they are not going to do a split 2 years in a row, no matter what the circumstances. The only reason there was a split last year is because last year was all fucked up.
And they screwed Affleck out of the director nomination.
12 Years a Slave is going to get picture, and they're going to be lazy and give McQueen... Well, it's not really laziness because McQueen did a fantastic, fantastic job, but...
Yes, completely.
They're going to chicken out of a split, and they're just going to give it to McQueen the way they gave it to Hooper.
What about giving Russell director and picture?
I don't think they're going to take to American Hustle more than they're going to take to 12 Years a Slave.
We're not talking to Academy members like face to face, so we don't know what their mindset is.
Yeah, we're also still talking nominations, so we've been totally sidetracked. So we might want to go back to actress now.
Yeah, that's next.
Am I starting now?
You're starting.
All right. These haven't changed for a long time. These have been solidified for months.
I think these are official, as much as they can be.
I don't even need to give you titles. You know who they are.
Yep.
Cate Blanchett, Sandra Bullock, Judi Dench, Meryl Streep, Emma Thompson.
Yep. Exact same 5 I have.
Everybody keeps talking about Amy Adams.
I had her in here, but I took her out.
Maybe the really horny Academy members, which are apparently there are a lot of dirty old men is what I keep hearing, will love the fact that she's not really wearing practically anything throughout the entirety of American Hustle. But I don't think she's going to prevail over any of these five.
I think how Mark Wahlberg missed out as the only nomination the fighter didn't get. I think Amy Adams is going to get the only nomination American Hustle doesn't get.
Plus, we can't nominate her in leading. She's been nominated 4 times, all in supporting.
Yeah.
It's just never.
She's the Susan Lucci of supporting
actors. She should have been nominated for Enchanted, but
completely.
But you know how things go.
Yeah.
We needed to nominate Cate Blanchett for playing Elizabeth again for some reason.
Yeah. Speaking of Cate Blanchett, what a segue. She's the front runner in every way possible right now, from what everybody's telling me. And there's 3 people. Anybody can win this thing at this point. I think the only person that doesn't have a chance to win is Meryl Streep.
Yeah, because. Oh no! Wait, never mind. Okay, you keep saying that Emma Thompson's going to take the BAFTA.
I think she might. Judi Dench, I'm aware.
Have you forgotten Judi Dench is in this race? You think anybody but her is going to take the BAFTA?
It's going to be a fight to the death.
Yeah, between Judi Dench and Cate Blanchett.
No.
I miss the days when Bullock was right behind Blanchett.
Maybe she is, and we don't know it.
That would be awesome, but you can't really tell, actually.
No.
Critics awards don't mean anything.
No. Until we start getting actual envelopes handed out to people, then we can actually start really speculating fully. Mm-hmm. So. The computer just came to life, folks. Best actor. Oh my god.
This one's easy for me.
Once again, there are 4 that are solidified, and everyone's battling for number 5.
Oh no, the internet says Robert Redford.
I said Robert Redford too until I started realizing that he's like you said, it can't go Dern and Redford both getting nominated.
I never once predicted Redford. Let that be on the record.
Yes, I'm aware.
They'll probably be lazy and he'll be the 5th slot, and this will have all been for nothing.
And I'd really like to not. I had Leonardo DiCaprio in here last month, obviously, as you guys know. But when it comes down to it, I think the Academy just hate decaf that much. They're willing to dangle the carrot, but they're not willing to go full.
Not only did they not nominate him for Django when he was expected to,
he lost to Waltz.
They nominated somebody else and gave it to him.
I mean, DiCaprio's had some amazing performances in The Aviator and J. Edgar that were just completely glossed over. And I think, sadly, it'll probably continue. I wanted DiCaprio to be my last nomination in this, but I can't justify
Wall Street's
it.
not doing well. I mean, I know it's late screening for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
But, I mean, it's gone. When he didn't make the BFCA the Critics' Choice, that was weird.
That's a big deal.
Because Scorsese in the movie itself got in and he didn't.
That proves...
Bale got in his place.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. So Best Actor right now, and of course, it's pretty much, like I said, there's 4 that are solidified. 1 is just, like, tinkering, unless you're the internet and it's Robert Redford. And I wouldn't mind if Robert Redford gets in, because I liked All Is Lost. But
I like the movie, but I don't really...
There's better performances this year.
Yeah.
And those are Tom Hanks for Captain Phillips, and Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Chiwetel for 12 Years a Slave, Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club, and yes, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. I said it before, I pretty much said it with Amy Adams, and I'm going to say it right now. Christian Bale for American Hustle is my final prediction.
He's got a good shot if he gets in BAFTA.
I think he's almost guaranteed to get in BAFTA.
Because then the only thing he won't have on his side is SAG.
But BAFTA is enough to trump SAG to get him in the Oscar race? Kind of.
Both BAFTA and SAG are also Academy voters.
Okay.
Well, I think a large portion of BAFTA is Academy voters.
Okay.
If I heard correctly. SAG is all Academy voters. So, and BFCA and Globes aren't, but they're always, people like to use them as precursors anyway.
I know yours is a little bit different. I know who you're about to say before you say it. Someone else you're hanging on to.
I have Bruce Dern.
Yes.
I have Chiwetel.
Mm-hmm.
I have Tom Hanks.
Yes.
I have McConaughey.
Yep.
And I have SAG nominee Forrest Whitaker.
So you have The Butler getting 2 nominations or 3?
3. Big ones, anyway. It could get some tech stuff. Like art direction and costumes and all that.
Yeah, maybe.
Not makeup, apparently.
That's blows my mind.
It's not on the short list. That makeup short list is fucking weird. You need to look at it.
Bad Grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, most like
Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel and Bad Grandpa will probably get into the Oscar race.
Hansel and Gretel is so underrated, and I've been saying it's underrated since it came out in January. And if it becomes an Oscar-nominated movie, even if just for makeup, that'll be so pleasing.
It's a good movie.
I'm gonna. Obviously, there has not been a video where I haven't said Forrest Whitaker.
That's correct.
And I am now, even if he doesn't get in, even if Redford actually does get in over him, I will still put this SAG nomination in everybody's face.
Yeah, you have every right to.
Him getting in SAG for bragging rights, and Brule getting in SAG just because I really, really wanted him to, made SAG a really good day. Like that meme with Ice Cube in his cover. I've never actually heard the song that goes with it.
I have.
I
get you there. That's not a problem.
If it makes me look less, whatever. I did know of the song's existence before the meme existed. So there's that.
All right, we've got 2 categories left.
Okay.
Best director. Oh my god. I have
We have no help with this, by the way. The only precursor we have to go on is the Globes.
And the Globes isn't the greatest predictor of best director either.
Because literally all the Critics Awards have been either McQueen or Cuarón.
Mm-hmm.
So the other 3 are just whatever the fuck.
Well, speaking of that, my director lineup is Cuarón, McQueen, David O. Russell, the Coen brothers, and Alexander Payne. I think Nebraska is a lot bigger of a contender than people give it credit for.
I've been saying that for a very long time.
I don't think it's going to win major things. Well, one major thing it definitely will win. But
talking about, I meant to talk about this when we were in Actor. I'll go ahead and say it now
before
I forget. Just as far as winning, just for future reference. Everybody's all, Chiwetel is winning everything.
No.
Like
he is winning everything.
Chiwetel's winning everything, and everything Chiwetel doesn't win goes to McConaughey.
Correct.
Here's what I think will happen. We're going to start with the Globe. Mm-hmm. The Globe is going to split them because they're in 2 different categories.
Of course.
Dern will take the Globe for comedy. Chiwetel will take the Globe for drama.
Yes. Then they don't have to choose, so it's perfect.
Then we have BFCA, which are, of course, the critics. So, of course, Chiwetel's going to take it.
Obviously.
But then Dern is going to take the SAG.
That makes total sense.
And that'll be the end. It won't really matter who gets the BAFTA from then on. Probably Chiwetel, because Chiwetel's British.
Yeah, Chiwetel's probably going to take the BAFTA.
I'm pretty sure.
Unless they throw us a curveball and give it to McConaughey.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
Look at me, I got myself an old British face.
Awesome. First time you've ever done McConaughey impersonation. That's glorious. Again, I think this lineup looks kind of familiar, honestly, when it comes to the last 3. I would personally like to see a lot of other things run. Obviously, Scorsese for sure. I really would like to see him get in, but I just don't see it happening.
Spike Jonze is a possibility.
Spike Jonze is a definite possibility. And
that's pretty much it.
Woody Allen is not a possibility. Not really. Not for director.
At least your dumbass took Hancock out. I'm sorry, was that cruel?
He gets that final slot. I don't care if I had him predicted or not. I would just be like all over the place for it. But no. I'll say right now that everything's pretty much in stone, but there's a couple of pieces of granite that still need to be chipped away before we can get a final 5. And that's how it should be. There should be a couple front runners, and then there's like whatever's left over that we could. It's going to be funnier to see what actually gets in.
The 5 I'm about to say.
You'll see. I'm still not going with him. I'm sorry.
I have the Coen brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I have Alfonso Cuarón. I have Paul Greengrass.
No.
Steve McQueen and Alexander Payne.
I have Russell to potentially win director. You have him missing out.
Yeah.
But that's not the last time.
And I'm not going to lose sleep tonight over that either.
Either way, if it happens, it doesn't really matter. I mean, these are predictions either way. It's just bragging rights between the two of us. That's it. Woo!
Whatever we can get.
Exactly. More viewership is all that matters, folks. So, apparently, it was made known to us that they're leaning towards 10, even though we don't have an official number yet.
We're just going to go with 10.
Because so we've added an extra movie on there.
It's going to be either 9 or 10.
Yeah, I don't see it being any less than that. It'd be funny if it was like 6. It's like the most prestigious one plus one more.
Or like 1932 when it was 8.
That's really random. So, AJ, your predictions for Best Picture for the Oscars?
American Hustle. August. The Butler. Captain Phillips. Gravity. Her. Nebraska. Inside Llewyn Davis. Philomena and 12 Years a Slave.
You have anything to go on that? Any words for those?
It looks like Her's getting him strictly on a screenplay nomination. Because there's been nothing. Everybody's like, oh, Joaquin, but there's nothing.
He's not going anywhere. I've not seen him in any nominations whatsoever. Did he get in somewhere while I was gone?
Everybody expected him to get into Globe, but I don't think he did. If he did, I forgot.
Can he get in the BAFTA? I don't know.
BAFTA does a lot of weird, fun shit.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll find out. The Butler will get in on 2 big acting nominations and costumes and art direction. That's production design now. Sorry.
Yeah.
And the rest are pretty self-explanatory.
We have a couple of differences, obviously. because I'm only running a lone nomination for Meryl Streep, I couldn't justify putting August in there.
If mine are right, I think 2 acting nominations and adapted screenplay will be more than enough.
I want to put Philomena in there, but unfortunately I can't do it with the lineup I've got. I won't put The Butler in because, once again, I was about a second away from getting rid of Oprah, so... And I'm not hanging out to the Forrest Whitaker one, even though you'll probably be right and I'll be wrong, but still, I'm not putting The Butler in there. Watch Fruitvale get in, and then we're both wrong. Could happen.
8 screenplay nominations enough.
Yeah, that's true. And you're not nominating The Wolf of Wall Street for good reason, I'm guessing.
I think The Wolf of Wall Street will get 1. I think The Wolf of Wall Street will get 1 single nomination for editing, and that'll be it.
Wow. Watch it miss out on editing, and that's what you miss out on.
Yeah.
Well, my Best Picture lineup is a little bit different than yours. It's about the same, but there are a couple glaring omissions from your list. I've got 12 Years a Slave, I have Gravity, American Hustle, Inside Llewyn Davis, Nebraska, Saving Mr. Banks, which I think is a big mistake you're not putting on the list, regardless.
I'm not even listening to you.
I know you're not. Captain Phillips, The Wolf of Wall Street, Her, and I've been fighting a lot with myself to make this the final one, but I'm going to go with Dallas Buyers Club. I think McConaughey and Leto both getting in.
Do you have it in screenplay?
I do not. I couldn't put it in screenplay. There was nowhere. The only thing I could bump out at this point would be Her, which ruined everything. Ruined my whole prediction list. I think that right now it's funny because I was actually talking to someone on Twitter the other day about it, and they were telling me they were saying their predictions on their Twitter feed. So they were telling everybody their predictions, not to me, just to everybody. Mm-hmm. And they were saying like, yeah, Best Picture is going to either go to Gravity or 12 Years a Slave, and I was like, that's what everybody says. So
the movie that there are exceptions, like when last year was fucked, or when a movie just completely obliterates everything.
The Artist.
No, like Return of the King or Slumdog.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the movie that wins the Drama Globe won't go on to win Picture.
So Gravity winning the Golden Globe is pretty much what we're calling right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much just... I think we're both agreeing with this right now. That's what we're saying.
They'll probably give the Globe to Quaron, too.
I think that's
remember, 2011, they gave the Globe to Scorsese for Hugo.
That's true.
So, and they gave drama to The Descendants. Yeah. Let me just back this up just so people know what I mean. And obviously comedy doesn't count.
No, never.
Okay, we'll go with 2011. The Descendants was the frontrunner at the time. It took the Drama Globe. Mm-hmm. It eventually went to The Artist, which won the Comedy Globe, so fuck off. But listen to this.
Artist won everything could win.
Listen, it'll start to make sense now.
Go ahead. Okay. I know where you're going with this.
The Social Network took the Drama Globe.
Mm-hmm.
The King's Speech took it.
Yep.
The Oscar. In 2009, Avatar took the Drama Globe. And The Hurt Locker got it. Mm-hmm. In 2007, Atonement got the Drama Globe. In No Country won. Mm-hmm. 2006, Babel took the Drama Globe. The Departed won. 2005, Brokeback took the Drama Globe. Crash won.
Yeah, it did.
2004, the Drama Globe went to The Aviator.
Mm-hmm.
And it lost $1 Million Baby.
Yeah.
And it does that a few years back. So, it is a...
It's not a continuous cycle at all.
And yeah, I'm sure there'll be holes in it everywhere. But most of the time, what feels like it could be the mainstream, that's kind of... What seems like to most people could be the front runner usually takes the Drama Globe and almost never gets both.
Yeah.
And Gravity, I think, has the Drama Globe written all over it.
Yeah, without any question. I don't.
Which leaves 12 Years, like all things point in 12 Years a Slave's direction. So,
would you say if that happens? Oh, sorry, when that happens, when Gravity wins the Globe and takes it out of contention, is it 12 Years a Slave versus American Hustle legitimately for Picture?
It's just 12 Years a Slave versus the world. Just 12 Years a Slave, just not really having a competitor.
Do you have any? Is there anything on this list that could potentially be an upset?
No.
I mean, to me, American Hustle would be the one that could upset, but it's not really an upset. Nebraska could possibly be an upset. If Saving Mr. Banks would have done better anywhere else, I would call it an upset because it's such a movie that everybody can get into, and that's usually what they go for. Like how Argo and The Artist were both really good, like crowd pleasers, and people went for them both. That's how I would think Saving Mr. Banks could win
I
picture.
wouldn't call Hargo a crowd pleaser.
People enjoyed it.
It had a happy ending, but
It also had a Hollywood story around it as well.
generally, Best Picture winners don't have happy endings.
That's true.
So, I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of really awesome things. Either way, anything on his list or anything on my list, I can't say anything about the 3 movies we haven't seen yet. But when it comes down to it, they're all good movies. There's not one not strong movie.
Yeah, there's always one movie that I fucking hate.
There's nothing on this list I despise. Of what I've seen.
Only problem is that still leaves, like, I could still hate August, I could still hate Llewyn Davis, I could still hate Nebraska.
And you think yourself you're going to hate Llewyn Davis because you've read the script.
I could still hate Her.
Yeah. Her might be a possibility of something you might dislike.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. But then again...
I haven't hated a Spike Jonze movie yet.
No.
In fact, I really love John Malkovich and Adaptation.
Yes, I do too, actually.
Where the Wild Things Are is good too, but I don't love it the way I love the other two. But it's a different... They're totally different.
It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
A different feel of the movie too. So, that being said, those are our final Oscar predictions of 2013 and our final ones going into 2014. Will we be right? Will we be wrong? I guess we'll find out come nomination day, which we will be at Buffalo Wild Wings many hours after they are announced, completely fabing the entire world until we get that piece of paper that says what the official nominees are. And he'll know before I will because he reads them. So, he will know if my dreams have been crushed.
I already know that.
Nah, not that you. No, you don't. No one knows anything, and you're not a member of PricewaterhouseCoopers, so.
Maybe I do have one of those little briefcases with the little envelope in it that has like 5 security guards around it. They're armed.
They're staying at your house right now, guarding it. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos, and we will continue to make more. As a matter of fact, tentative plan right now will be to do the Golden Globes and the SAGs and the Spirit Awards and the Critics' Choice Awards as separate videos in the next several weeks, at least before the official ceremony. So, we've got that, and once we get our Oscar nominations official, we will shoot a video on that. Same with the BAFTAs when they're taken care of as well. So, hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Continue to watch these videos. More awards content upcoming in the next couple months, since we don't have an Oscar ceremony till March 2nd. So obviously, got a lot of awards themed stuff. We got brand new verses coming up tomorrow, which is going to be a really entertaining battle. And we've also got a lot of really awesome things to look forward to in 2014. So stay tuned to Pop for all your awards needs for the rest of this calendar year and beyond. So thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and it's almost been an hour, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. And until 2014, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.